Hello, Minister of the Canada Revenue Agency. Quite a while ago, I requested for your offices to do a complete audit of my file. Only got a ridiculous response quite a while after that said, "Oh, it looked like your problem's been solved." And I responded, "No, not at all. What makes you think?" And now I hear in the news that you want to do taxes for people, and I've claimed in a different vlog that if you do this, I will report you to the RCMP for trying to bribe me into silence when you owe me a lot more money, including the money that you stole from my retirement through a third party. Now, the other thing I wanted to mention is I gave a letter to an MP, and we just went through the 6-year anniversary of this, and I will consider that since then, every receipt of me being in Canada is a tax-deductible receipt because that letter states that I've paid my dues in Canada. It's a cultural evolutionary dead end. There's so much I want to offer, but the more I want to offer and the more skills and different types of human thinking tools I have, the more shunned and persecuted and mistreated through human rights violations, including by public servants all across Canada, is it's my time to leave with my head held high, with a clean criminal record, with getting out of the credit system, and with paying my debts, and with saying, well, hey, I did my best since I was a kid. I knew that adults were not doing the right thing. They were doing the opposite of what they said was the right thing. And it kept devolving. Now, again, I'm not saying Canada is the worst country in the world. What I'm saying is I already had enough triggers about the way I was treated unfairly, and then there's 6 more years of victimization, except for the time that I tried to leave. Norway sent me back on their dime. I don't know what kind of agreement Canada may have, or it was all up to them to not want to set a precedent. I still have a suitcase in Uganda where I was supposed to go back right before COVID. So for me, this vlog is to say I'm still expecting you to do a complete audit, and I live a transparent life. That's my worldview. So that means that audit will be recorded, everything about it, my last week's videos, and it's going to be, this is me, this is you. I am on PWD with the province. If somebody asks me what my disability is, really, my answer would be, my disability is that you suffer from HSD. 99.99% of the people primates on this planet, and it's been accelerating during my lifetime, it's measurable, this is my specialty, this grandification theory, have suffered from human domestication syndromes. And of course, the monetary paradigm, the tax, the fear of somebody's going to pay a little bit more, a little bit less, whatever it is, that's your kind of nonsense, just like the borders are your kind of nonsense, and the COVID irrationality, I'm not saying it's not real, I'm saying it's always been a social pandemic. Your broken structures of proto-societies is really what was screwing everything up, and what will continue to create real, more increasingly deadly viruses, by the way, because you don't address your own flaws here. You don't understand the concept of the Anthropocene. The Anthropocene means, yes, the Anthropocene doesn't mean my disability of suffering from species alienation. My disability of suffering from species alienation is a direct outcome of all of you suffering from a variety of human domestication syndromes of HSD. So this video includes, so today I'm filming it the Friday, June 9th, 2023, 7:30ish in the morning, and I am going to give you a deadline of 1 week, and in 1 week, I'm going to tell you that the first step is for me to no longer keep receipts. So if we ever do review my file, because you'll have no choice in the future, if I take you to court for giving me money, which is inaccurate, and it's the way you're trying to domesticate me to see things, and it's inaccurate in your own paradigms of the cults of money, the monetary system, the monetary paradigm of magical stuff, then I'll still challenge you. You won't be finished with me. I choose to live my life by human standards. You might not choose. but I choose. I was born to be an Homo sapien. I self-actualized into one. It has created levels of aloneness that would overwhelm anybody else if it was done instantly, and they would maybe go in a coma. But for me, I've handled it over time with decisions, with thinking tools that we're building, and that have created a very resilient mind. But even a resilient mind makes me extremely disappointed in my own species, and because I am so alienated from them, and they are alienated from me, and I can't cure your HSD. I realize my theory says that I was born before, when the tipping points had already passed. So I can't work miracles. I can explain what it is to you. I can explain what kind of impact it has on a real Homo sapien who wants to live their life by human standards based on the definition of sentience and sapiens. But, I can't do anything about it because I can't do miracles. And some of your nonsense is kind of waiting for people that can do miracles to show up. And, instead of doing what you should have done before I was born and start reversing the patterns of your behaviors, your humanics that were flawed, and not accelerate the Anthropocene during my lifetime. And look at where we are today, and it's going to keep getting worse at an accelerated pace. Might be healthy, might have a resilient mind, but I don't want to be of service in Canada because it doesn't want me to be of service here. And I'm tired of trying because it keeps me in extreme poverty, and it keeps me more and more persecuted and having my human rights violated, including by people that work in human rights. Okay, so in 1 week, so let's go Friday, the 16th. Let's go 5 p.m. Ottawa time. At that time, every receipt I find in my messy, closet-sized motorhome is I'm going to destroy them. And that means that if we ever get to auditing my file, we're going to have to just do averages. I'm going to say, well, this is kind of how much I spent. This is where I had to go for a shower. This is where I had to go for internet, even though it's not healthy food. All these things, we'll make averages. We'll both agree to it. And every receipt or every expense of being in Canada in the last 6 years is going to be tax deductible, and I will charge you the amount of interest that I choose based on how much accountability you choose to decide to role model during this audit of my file. Okay, and we're going to go with June 4th, 6 years ago, 2017, as the time when I didn't want to be here. You're forcing me to be here. You're bringing me back here. You're keeping me here. You're not supporting me to do anything productive here. And all those expenses will fall on you.